then they would have been mad at Stephanie. I don't know. That's true. Anyway, we get to Magic Kingdom, finally. And Amanda, this is like the third time by this point you've said, we're not going to make it. Let's just give up.
I'm a pessimist. Cherami was late to the airport once on one of our flights, and she's like, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And like most people would be like, yeah, you totally are. And I was like, yeah, I don't know.
No, but I legitimately almost did not make it. I got on the plane, like I looked at my watch and it was like, and 10, 9, 8, 7, fast forward to 1, and now the plane's taking off. Wow, barely made this one.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But making it into Magic Kingdom, it was after hours, so like, it's like 8:45, 8:50, and we go up to the front, they were like, do you have after hours passes? We were like, we were traveling on the monorail for 30 minutes, and we just want to ride one ride. And she, instead of saying like, that's fine, she goes, okay, and then just let us through.
Because there was like a private party at 9, so we weren't supposed to be there.
So I took that to mean, okay, get yourselves on Haunted Mansion. However, Stephanie and I are used to Disneyland, where Haunted Mansion is on the opposite side of the lake, like Frontierland, and it's all switched. So we go running. We are leaving everyone behind.
Like we left Cherami's mom.
Thank you. We left Mina.
Mina's pregnant. We left her behind. We left Cherami's mom behind. We were just like,
we left Leanna. Did we leave Leanna behind? Leanna was with us.
You just really wanted it.
We were just going. We were like, we have to do this for Amanda. But the joke became, we went the wrong direction, and all the people that live here and my mom went right to the correct direction and made it on the ride.
Before us.
It was like 9:01, and Amanda's like, guys, we're not gonna make it.
I was really
insane. We were like, we're doing this, okay? We will never know until we try. So we just like walked in. We didn't have our after hours badge. So I was like, just blend in. We putting on our jackets, and we're like, guys, just keep it close. Like pretend like we belong here.
They were very obvious badges that we did not have.
It's a lanyard. Like it's not like, oh, it's a little necklace. Sorry, you didn't get.
So we were like, oh, let's just pretend we have them and like we belong here.
So we finally, long story short, we made it on Mansion. And I think it was the most exciting adventure to get on a ride ever.
It's just a Haunted Mansion, but it's just the fact that it's like, we're gonna do it, and like I had to pull out my inhaler while we were running. I was like, because they were running, like they were running with their little legs, and they were just like, go, go, go. And I've probably got like at least 50 pounds on them. And I'm just like, guys, do you know where you're going? And Stephanie's like, yeah. And I got so bad. And she's like, oops, go back. And I'm just like, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it, guys.
The best part was when Stephanie goes, what could we lose, Amanda? Like, what could go wrong? And Amanda like turned around and was legitimately angry at both of us. She was like, a lot.
Like, what have we lost? I was like, my time, my energy, my feet hurt. I had to pull out my inhaler, so that's at least lost 2 squirts of my albuterol. There's a lot I've lost.
And in the moment when I was talking to Stephanie about it, she's like, I felt really guilty about it. I was like, me too, it kept me up last night. Like, I felt so bad that we took Amanda in the wrong direction. And she was like, but you know what? It was a really good experience. We made it happen, and I think it was better that we went the wrong way. And I was like,
and we still made it, because I'm that person, like I said, I'm the person who's like, bye, you ain't getting on this plane. Like,
yeah.
So like,
let's just go home. And we were like, Amanda, we are not giving up. She goes, I will. It was my idea, and I will
give up. We can go tomorrow. It is fine.
So then all day I've been hearing Amanda say, we're not gonna make it. In my head all day.
I'm not the person you want on your team in a disaster movie.
Like, I will not fight. I want to eat breakfast, and I heard you in my head go, we're not gonna make it. I was like, okay. Good food for me, I guess.
And then Stephanie Shea, like to I don't know why I said her whole name, I think it's fun. Stephanie Shea. But she like, she's like, haven't you ever watched the Olympics?
That's true, she made it like such a grandiose thing.
Like a speech.
And in the moment, I was like, I'm right there with you, and I'm looking back on it now, I'm like, we equated us running to get on the Haunted Mansion after hours to like, can you imagine what some of those athletes go through?
He had no legs yet. He won the triathlon. That is dedication. We're like, we got on the Haunted Mansion. Dreams can come true.
It was really fun.
You should have bet me, because I was that convinced we were not going to make it that I probably would have been like, I would bet you $100 we wouldn't make it, and I would have lost. So good thing you didn't.
Dang it. I always miss out on these things.
I'm really good at like having a poker face, and I'll hustle people. I'll be like, somebody will be like, who was the composer of this movie? Like, we're watching The Bodyguard the other day because my friend was having a birthday party. It was called Kevin Can Wait, and it was basically all Kevin Costner's like bad movies.
That's genius.
And it was really fun. And then we watched.
Is his name Kevin?
No, his name's Sam.
Okay.
But
I could do that.
But it was, so we watched The Bodyguard, and my friend Kelby was like, so who composed this movie? And I was like, I think it was Alan Silvestri. And she's like, no. And then she kept like, being like, it's not him. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it is. And she doesn't know that I've seen The Bodyguard, I own The Bodyguard, I know who the composer is. But I was like, I guess, I don't know.
And
So we bet. We bet, but she won't take me up on it. I told her that if I won, that she had to name her child Alan Silvestri, whether it was a boy or a girl.
Ooh.
And that has to be the first name. So it's not like it's Alan Silvestri McClellan, or like whatever. Like, and she doesn't want kids, so that's just problematic on so many levels.
Maybe it's a pet.
Maybe.
Like a cat.
Oh, a cat named Alan Silvestri. That's
I actually
adorable.
really would respect a cat named Alan.
As opposed to other cats, where you're like, you have your cat.
No, I love my cat.
I should let you have your cat.
Oh, but that was story time later.
We're not gonna make it.
But we are going to make it through this panel.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, will we? I don't know. Amanda does.
I'm not gonna make it through this panel. Just take this mic home.
Do you think you're going to put it in your bag? You're not going to make it out of this room.
You'll be able to like hear me like walking out the hall talking smack.
We're on the ride, and it stops because they're like, spooky ghosts. Like,
Yeah, spooky
we're on the
ghosts.
ride, and Amanda goes, guys, they found us. They're coming for us. Amanda, then the whole time, like, we walk into the first room, she's like, are we hungry? Are we hungry? I'm like, stop saying, are we hungry? We won't be hungry if you keep asking questions. Just enjoy it. And then, like, we're almost through the ride, and she's like, they're coming for us. I'm like, Amanda!
I'm just saying, like they were like, because we tried to go on. There's several people who were like, "Are you with After Hours?" And we're like, "No, the park is closed." And so that's why I was really worried that they were gonna like be like, "You get out of the little chariot thing. Let's just drag us out of the haunted mansion."
We go to Disney jail in the monorail, where I'm tempted to touch the emergency button forever.
Touch the button.
I know. It's so good. Hi, sorry for being super distracting, but that was a really fun story, and I was like, this is the best fun story ever! And I always have to remind myself to tell those stories because I forget. My name is Cherami Leigh. Bye, Amanda. See you in 45 minutes. I'm an actor, voice actor. I've done some writing for Radio Disney, actually, and Funimation, and some other things. I'll say some shows I'm in, that's probably helpful. I'm Sailor Venus in the Viz read-up of Sailor Moon and Sailor Moon Crystal. I'm Lucy in Fairy Tale, Asuna in Sword Art Online. By the way, did anybody see the movie this weekend? Yes! Hi, it's Sarah. I loved the movie. And I played Patty in Soul Eater, Lizzie in Black Butler. I play Makoto in Persona 5, Gage in Borderlands 2. There's some things, and I'm in Fire Emblem Heroes. I play a couple characters in that. Yeah, I think I got that one. I don't know if you guys like. I think you're in this thing. Which one? I think so. I don't even know. They don't tell me anything. I was a merchant. Yes, I was. Yes, that's what that was my character's name when I recorded, was Merchant. And the game, when I recorded it, was called SGX. So I was like, what is this game really gonna be? They're like, we'll tell you later. And that's code for will not tell you ever.
That was our swan song of the game. The last movie we had.
Aww.
And it was amazing.
Yeah, I like being the merchant. I'm glad that she has a name, and she's not just merchant. They don't trust me with knowledge. I tell people, I get excited and tell stories. Yeah, this is a Q&A, so instead of telling stories, which I probably will still do, I'll answer questions. Yes?
Oh, we throw the mic in, and that way you can hear, they can hear, just makes it easy.
I mean,
I don't throw it at them.
It's a win-win.
So you seem like a theme park fan. Here at the theme park capital of the world, I've always wanted to know, if you were to design your own Sailor Moon attraction,
Oh my gosh.
what kind of ride or show do you think would represent Sailor Moon the best?
Man, what kind of a ride? This is hard because I'm definitely a Disney fan because I've worked for Disney since I was 8, so for 20 years, and what I love about Disney parks is like my grandmother can ride a ride and have fun. So can my younger cousins. So can my older cousins. It's very like it. Whereas when we go to Six Flags, like my grandmother is not getting on tight. Like it's just not happening. So I think I would probably want to do one of those like kind of like a pirate style ride where there's a little bit of fun and adventure. Your heart drops a little bit, but not really. It's not like anybody really gets scared, but it's fun to act and pretend. The one thing that I would probably require is that at least one of the villains throughout, because it's like we always have a villain of the week, and sometimes we have an overarching villain. But there would have to be a couple of villains of the week, and one of them would have to be the one that I have lovingly nicknamed Katy Perry villain, who like traps people in donuts and pastries and candy. Because I think that's really torturous to like trap someone in a donut and then like what would happen if you eat it? Would you explode? What if it's not gluten-free and you have an allergy? Like that's just like a constant additional level of torture. Would you like your celiac, that's a serious issue. So I think that would be a really fun part of the ride. Obviously it would have to be very colorful. Yeah, definitely sparkly. Char would be mad if there wasn't any sparkles. And I would like to have maybe like at the beginning there's Chibiusa. Halfway through the ride we get a little black lady and then she has to come back to Chibiusa by the end of the ride because I don't want any kids going home with like nightmares. I don't need that on my conscience. I don't know. That's a really good question. I would love to do that.
Gluten-free Pirates of the Caribbean. That sounds really great.
Yeah, and definitely a Sailor V cameo in there somewhere. Maybe they're playing that video game at the beginning of the ride, and you jump into the video game, and you're all pixelated. This isn't real. I was like, you just made this into an improbable situation. But with the magic of Disney, anything is possible. Who knows?
Maybe a couple of years.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
How did you find out that you got the part for Venus in the story? Heard of Amanda's version and like
Yeah.
yours.
My saga was just that. I didn't even did an audition because I got the audition in advance and was like, oh, you need to make sure that your voice is in peak condition so you maybe have a good shot at booking this. And then I would keep going, no, I don't think you're up to speed to do Sailor Moon auditions today. And then kept putting it off, and then realized like it's due in 3 hours. So it's now or never. And I had to go to the airport, so I ended up recording in my iPhone in a car, which the quality was terrible. I had since I was going to the airport because I was flying back to Texas to get married. And so, go to Texas, I'm actually recording a little bit of Fairy Tale at Funimation, and I get an email, like I guess a week after I had sent in my audition. And they said, we'd like to call you back for Sailor Moon, can you come in to audition tomorrow or Friday? And I was like, no, because I'm in Texas because I'm getting married. I can't, what am I gonna do? And they said, that's fine, we'll give you notes and you can send in an audition, but just don't let anybody know that you're recording for Sailor Moon. And if it's possible, could you not record on the potato that you recorded for the first audition? And I was like, cool. Luckily, the engineers at Funimation are very lovely and understanding, and I said, if I gave you money or donuts or cookies, would you record a couple lines for me for this audition? But then the dilemma became, I'm doing Sailor Moon call-outs and saying, hi, I'm Luna. I'm Usagi Spino. Like, it's pretty clear what I'm auditioning for, so how do I not break the NDA while auditioning for the show? So I thought I was very clever and told the engineer. So this show it's a magical girl show. It's obviously not Sailor Moon, but they don't really have scripts yet, so they took scripts from Sailor Moon, and that's why we're auditioning for these characters. And he was like, it's for Sailor Moon. I said, it's obviously not for Sailor Moon because I just told you it's not for Sailor Moon. And he was like, so you're auditioning, there's cats in this magical girl? I was like, well, I don't know, Kyle. Maybe they're not cats, maybe they're monkeys, maybe it doesn't matter what animal they are, they're just friends of these magical girls that might not even be girls. Maybe they're flowers, okay? It doesn't matter. It's not Sailor Moon. Can I please pay you in cookies and let me do this audition? So I did the audition, and then after I finished, he's like, so if you book Sailor Moon, I was like, Kyle! He was like, if you book Sailor Moon, I would like a donut. And that's all I will accept as payment, only if you book this job. And I was like, well, you're not getting it because you said if I book Sailor Moon, and that is not what I am auditioning for, Kyle. So, joke's on you, sir. So I left, did a bunch of wedding stuff. I was on the way to my rehearsal dinner. My maid of honor was driving me there, and I get an email from the production coordinator that's like, we would like to offer you a role in Sailor Moon. Don't tell anybody about anything. Please agree to these 3 things. There are stipulations as part of you accepting your role. If you're good with that, we will talk to you soon if we're choosing to move forward. And I'm like, this is exciting and yet not helpful. So, and you don't want to bug them. But I was like, yeah, all those things, lovely, great. So am I in the cast? Like, I don't want to bother them and then be like, okay, she's annoying, so we're taking her role away. But I was like, it's my wedding. It's my wedding present from the anime gods. I'm going to be in Sailor Moon. What am I going to be? I don't know. Am I a rock? Am I like a girl with a hair bow randomly? I don't know. So then I looked through my Facebook messages, and the brand manager from Viz had sent me a message that was like, hope you like orange, with a smiley face. And I was like, I did not know she was the brand manager for Sailor Moon. I had known her from working at, when she was working at another company. And I was like, orange is great. Like, I specifically like the coral family of orange. I don't, oranges? And she was like, LOL. I'm like, yeah, it's so funny, I don't know what's happening. And so then I remember I like went to my rehearsal dinner and everyone was like, you look excited, what happened? I was like, I think I got cast in something. They were like, what is it? I was like, I can't tell any of you. And my now husband was like, oh, well, I'm your husband, you have to tell me now. I'm like, no, it doesn't say don't tell anyone except your husband. Like, if you tell your husband, we definitely won't sue you then. There's not a husbands only clause. So he ended up finding out at some point in the 6 months that I had to keep a secret. And then we were going to announce it at Anime Expo. I'm wearing orange. We're like, everybody was told to show up in their colors, and John was with me, and he's like, would you be mad if, like, right now, as we're walking up to the building, I screamed, like, my wife is Sailor Venus? I was like, I would, actually, because, like, if you got me fired 20 minutes before the secret was finally announced and it would have been okay, we would have had a really serious conversation about you not keeping secrets well. But when we all met for the first time, because we didn't know who was cast as any of the roles, and so I had seen Christina at a panel, or at another convention, and she was like, congratulations, and I was like, thank you, you too. Because I was like, oh my gosh, maybe she's in the show. I don't know. She was like, I didn't get married. And I was like, oh, yes, congratulations to me 2 times then for the marriage. And then, right. So when I saw her there, I was like, you were in the show. She goes, I got so nervous when you said congratulations. I was like, how does she know? And I was like, well, I thought you were asking. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry, this is terrible. And so we were all standing together, and I remember the brand manager, fans started going, they're announcing the Sailor Moon cast, and like, why are they all wearing colors? And one fan was like, Cherami never wears orange. And the brand manager was like, you 5, get away from each other. Right now. Don't talk to each other, don't look at each other, get on opposite sides of the room. And I was like, we can't even be together? She was like, not now. You're wearing your colors, people are starting to ask questions. I'm like, sorry. So yeah, that was my whole saga of being in Sailor Moon, and it took really like 2 or 3 years for me to actually, for it to sink in that it was real. Certainly on the day that they announced the cast, I was like, this isn't happening. Sailor Venus also doesn't show up until a little bit later into the show. So I went in to record, and all I said was like Sailor V for like a little eye catch. And then I played a girl with a hair bow who was talking about how her life was so terrible because she didn't have a boyfriend, and she would do, she was like, I just need like a magical spell. Like, do you know of any witches? And it was like a background line. And I was like, well, cool. Even if they decide that they don't want me to play Venus, at least I get to be in the show as a random girl with a hair bow who needs a boyfriend. And yeah, and luckily they liked what I did, and I got to stay on, and now I have a lot of orange clothing. So. Any other questions?
That was it. We're up. Time's up.
Yeah, I know. I talked forever. I'm so sorry.
This is a serious industry question, right? All right.
I love your shirt and I want to know where you got it.
Oh, my shirt. I love this shirt as well. I got very excited about it. I actually got it on eBay. It's an Anthropology shirt, and I refuse to pay Anthropology prices for their clothing. So I like to go on eBay and pay eBay prices for Anthropology clothing. But thank you, I love it very much too. I like things that look very comfortable, that are very comfortable, but like look like I try. So like minimal effort, but I would like people to think that I try. Well, thank you, I appreciate it.
Now the secret's out. Like, she looks fabulous. It's a comfortable shirt.
Yeah, it's just whatever is comfortable. And usually whatever is black. I just like the color black. I do like orange as well, but I don't like Halloween as much as like other holidays, which orange and black, those are my colors, and I put them together, it just doesn't work for me.
So I got a question. I kind of didn't know. I watch a lot of anime, so it was a bit weird when I saw you in movies like the Shane Dawson movie.
Oh yeah.
Like, wait a minute, this sounds very familiar. And I was like, what's going on here? And then I googled it and I was like, shit, I should have done this. So my question is, which one do you prefer, acting or voice acting? Or is it more comfortable to act or more comfortable to be voice acting?
It's a great question. I started out doing on-camera acting when I was 6 and doing commercials and film and stuff, and I fell into voiceover when I was like 7 or 8. I love both, and I was actually talking to Stephanie about this yesterday at the park, and I said, people have asked me if I had to choose one or the other, what would it be, and I would not be able to make a choice, because if I'm doing a lot of voiceover and nothing on camera, I miss being on camera. If I'm doing all on camera stuff, I'm like, please just let me get in the booth and read 12 sentences for you, please. I love both. I think they give me a great balance. I can do different things with each. So obviously some of the characters that I've played in voiceover, I would never play on camera. But on camera, you are in some ways, like specifically for the Shane Dawson movie, I was terrified to do that movie. And I set a lot of stipulations. I was like, I'm not doing any nudity whatsoever. I'm not doing any, and they kept setting all these stipulations. And they were like, okay, we're down for that, but there were still a lot of things that were scary for me as a person, because for voiceover, it's easy to jump in and be like, well, I'm this cartoon character, so the things that are happening to this cartoon character, they're not happening to me. It's just the emotional response, and sometimes it surprises me how connected I am to that character and how much I feel the emotions just the same. On camera, I definitely did have to fall flat on a mat and try to squish a watermelon. I definitely had to have this weird applesauce mixture thrown in my face a couple of times. And I did stand outside freezing in a t-shirt and like the equivalent of leggings. Those were all things that I definitely went through with acting, playing the character on top of that. And they also gave me that huge car to drive. I'm 5 feet tall. I cannot reach the pedals. We discussed this when we were filming in the studio, and I said, guys, I'm not gonna have to drive this, right? And they said, no. I said, I'm sitting on 4 blankets and 2 phone books to see over the dashboard. My feet are dangling. I'm not gonna drive this. Of course, there's a scene where Shane's character jumps headfirst through the window and I'm supposed to drive off. Well, the producer decides, we do want the car driving off, I think we need it. And so they were like, cool, all right, let's give Cherami the keys. And I'm going, hold on. Cherami has had this discussion with all producers and Shane and the people who own the car, that if I'm driving, I cannot see over the steering wheel. My eye line is like the center of the steering wheel. So like, I'm driving up a hill in Pittsburgh with a bunch of cars and houses. This will not work. I cannot see. And they're like, Shane will navigate for you. Well, when you think about Shane diving head first into a seat, his face is navigating the seat. So like, nobody sees where we're going. So we had a person yelling, left, quick right. And the whole time I'm like, this is terrifying. This is a lot for me. And if I had known Amanda at that time, I would have been hearing, we're not gonna make it the whole time. But it's all of those fun adventures that you don't necessarily get to experience. And they're working different acting muscles. I mean, one of them is, how many different ways can I say this line to fit the flaps, and how can I create this world and make sure that the emotions of this character that are being conveyed through the eyes are all coming through my voice. And I usually am working by myself, but when I'm on set, it's like, well, my costume is doing work, all of this stuff is doing work. I need to make sure that I'm not doing any weird things with my face or like ripping my hair out, because that's gonna be distracting. And I'm working with other people, so I have to make sure that I'm giving them enough to help get them emotionally where they need to be. So it's just different levels of teamwork, it's different muscles, and I love both, and I've gotten some really great stories and great experiences, and a lot of growth as a person from doing both, so. Yes. Sorry.
No.
I should pick a method.
No, it always happens this way. It's not you, it's them. They're the problem, not you. You're fabulous. Look at your shirt. I mean, come on.
Thank you.
Who would win in a fight, Asuna or Sailor V?
Ooh, that's hard. Asuna or Sailor V? I always say that all of my characters, because I think they're very similar in the sense of, they would be a bunch of girls that would just like to get together and hang out. So I think they'd be fighting, and then Sailor V would be like, wait, how did you get him to like stay? Like, he's still with you. I am having such a hard time getting a guy to like not get like attacked or having his soul taken away. Let's just talk about this for a second. And I think that Asuna would probably be like, how can you survive in a game and in the real world, and like, you've never been in a coma. We need to talk about how many times you've been able to deal with this drama. So I think they would probably just sit down and be friends and like be like, let's not fight. There are plenty of other people we could fight with each other. Because I don't know who would win. I think it would just be one of those like stalemate situations, and they'd be like, okay, so what's really our issue here? Can we help each other? I don't like fight. I don't like fighting. I don't like violence.
Well, I know you've done voice acting for so long. Do you have any specific characters that you voice that you love the most and really attaches to your personality?
All of them, honestly. If I picked one, also, a lot of them are really good with swords, and I don't like fighting, but they don't have a problem, and they would hurt me. But I know, in all seriousness, it's very interesting how I'll get cast as the characters that I get cast as when I'm dealing with certain things in my life that mirror what they're dealing with in some way. Certain characters have helped me get over deaths and family or friends that I'm dealing with, and they'll be dealing with a loss in the story that they're going through, and so I'm working through that with them, which is amazing. When I first got cast in Sword Art Online, I had just gotten engaged, so as she is dealing with her relationship, I mean, like, it's all these weird mirror situations and coincidences, because of that, I feel very connected with them, and I'm very grateful to them. I'm like, man, the lines that they get to say are so relevant, so poignant to me right now, and this is exactly what I needed to hear, and how did this happen? So I don't think there's any character that I played where I'm like, this character's awful. I'm so glad I never have to do this again. Or, oh man, that game was popular, that means we're gonna have to do another one. I hate that girl. I have not experienced that. I think when I start experiencing that, that's probably when it's time to get a new job. Because like, I am very fortunate that I love this business so much. So much so that sometimes it hurts. I love this business, I love working in this industry. I'm very lucky to be a person that gets to do this for my job full time and keep having opportunities. So as soon as I start taking those opportunities for granted, or being like, I don't want to go to work anymore, then that's probably the sign that this chapter in my life is over and I should move on to something else that is making me happier and makes me excited to go to work, because there are plenty of people that would be stoked to do this every day. And I'm one of those people. And I think I always will be.
Where are we going, folks? All right, where were you?
I was like, Sailor Moon? You look fantastic.
Were you a fan of the original Sailor Moon when it aired back in the 90s?
Yes.
Were you like just stoked that you were going to be just like that?
Yeah. I actually did not think I was anything like Venus when I got cast, because I think my favorite character probably, I thought Venus was very pretty, but I didn't connect with her because I always connected with like whatever is cute and little, and like the little sister that's like quirky. I didn't ever like the characters that are like, oh my gosh, they have a boyfriend or they're the love interest. I was like, I'm gonna be the little sister, because that's like safe and not awkward. So I really liked Chibiusa. But then when I got cast as Sailor Venus and I was reading up on the comics, and you kind of watch the series differently and you read things differently when you're like, oh, I'm now playing this character, so let me put on my orange glasses as I read this and see what comes up. And I was like, okay, they are a little similar. This is weird. We're both very obsessed with like celebrity culture and all of that stuff. We both like shopping. Her hair is a lot longer than mine, but if my hair was that long, I would rock a hair bow too. I like red accessories, so. But yeah, just a lot of the things that she will say and do. I think she has two very distinctive sides of like, one being the very serious, I want to be a leader, I want to make the world a better place, and I want to do things right. And then the other side that's like, I am a nutcase. And I love being silly, and I'm not a good cook either. And I know from the nurse episode that we worked on with nurse Minako, it was a disaster. And that was one of my favorite episodes to record, because I'm like, oh, I can put on my wacky self, And Venus is a wacky sign? This is amazing. Yeah, I was very excited because I did watch the show growing up.
Saw another hand when I was coming back for the Sailor Moon. Oh, you, all right? Don't be shy, it's all right.
What is your ideal kind of pizza?
My ideal kind of pizza? Best question ever. So I do have a gluten sensitivity. I can't have too much gluten. Makes my stomach sick. So it would be a gluten-free crust, or a cauliflower crust, because that is also good. I would like pepperoni, probably turkey sausage, cheese of some sort, with probably feta, black olives, no doubt, and cauliflower, roasted cauliflower, because I experienced it with garlic, which I recently experienced. It's like the worst pizza if you're going on a date with someone, but I don't care. I recently found that if you put roasted cauliflower on a pizza, it's great, and it makes you feel better about yourself, because you're like, oh, I had vegetables today. I just couldn't taste them because they were smothered in cheese, but I ate them. So yeah, I think that would probably be my ideal pizza.
That was a fantastic, I love my body and also hated like pizza recipe. Like, you know, you have the healthy stuff and then like, screw my heart, all this meat.
It's the pizza that says I'm trying, but I really don't want to screw up pizza.
Right.
It's like, I'm gonna pretend to care.
Cauliflower crust, yeah, with pepperoni.
But yeah, which is also when you go to order something, you're like, they're like, is it an allergy or a preference? And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Depends on the day. What is gonna make you take my order seriously? What answer is gonna make you happy? They're like, is it vegan cheese? Yeah, but please put some chicken and pepperoni on that. And they're like, so obviously it's not the vegan, it's like, I'm trying, but I'm not gonna give up everything, all right? I'm picking my battles, yeah.
All right, this is a follow-up to the pizza question.
Oh, good.
Where do you fall on the pineapple on pizza argument?
Honestly, I've never had pineapple on pizza. I would think you would have to choose the other, like, toppings would have to be compatible with the pineapple. Sort of like ranch, like there's people that do pizza and ranch, or pizza and cheeseburgers. And cheeseburgers and ranch? I don't know. Ice cream and french fries?
Got frosting. Frosting french fries.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a horrible idea, but I've heard people do it.
I've heard people do that too. Where do these ideas start? Is it just somebody that, I swear it's like a dare, that somebody's like Amanda, be like, I dare you to put your french fries in frosty. She's like, okay, fine. I swore we didn't make it on Haunted Mansion. She's like, this is actually good, joke's on you.
More pizza questions, or are we moving on?
I kind of wanted to something else.
Oh, thank you.
Growing up, did you have an actor or a performance from a movie who really inspired you?
I had a lot. Very eclectic assortment of movies. I mean, I started acting when I was 6 professionally. And the whole reason for my desire to want to be an actor was because I wanted to be on Barney. So that lovely purple dinosaur was very inspirational. Although I do remember anytime they would have to go outside for part of the episode, I was like, no, just stay inside. Like I got weird anxiety about it. But that's what I wanted to do, was be on Barney. And at 8 years old, I met the director of Barney and the production team, and I was like, I'm finally gonna get my chance. My dreams are coming true. And he was like, on my birthday, he comes up to me, he's like, I heard you wanted to be on Barney. And I was like, yes, sir, I do. And he goes, not gonna put you on Barney, it's gonna ruin your career. And I was like, oh, but instead you're ruining my dreams. Okay. I didn't get to work on Barney, but I'm still working, so I don't know whether he was right or not. I also loved Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock. I think Sandra Bullock is awesome. I don't think there's been any movie that she's been in that I'm like, oh, I don't like you anymore, Sandra Bullock. I just love her more and more. I thought that was a really fun movie, and I wanted to be in a pageant just so I could save the world. So my parents were very supportive and they let me do a pageant, and I was highly disappointed that nothing bad happened, so I couldn't save anyone, so hung that up. I don't know if there's any, there's a lot of movies that I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I love Iron Man, that whole franchise. I love Indiana Jones. I love, I'm trying to think of like comedies that I really enjoyed growing up. Friends was great. I don't know. There's really, I'm the person that people say, don't ask Cherami how she feels about a movie because she's going to put a spin on it to tell you what was good about it, even if it was terrible. Because I'm like, everybody is going to, even if you hate it, every movie out there is somebody's favorite movie for some reason, even if it's terrible. Like, case in point, I don't know if you guys have seen The Room, or... Yeah. Okay. Critically, the worst movie, but when I asked you about it, like, a portion of you cheered. So you get some enjoyment out of it, therefore, he did his job. I don't know if it was his intent that people are like, this is awful, I love it! But people love it. I usually always try to put a spin on it because I know there were actors, there were writers, there were people there was effort that went into it, there was love that went into it, and I don't ever want to be like, oh, okay, that was the worst thing in the world. Loved all that time and effort you put into it, it's terrible. Because there were aspects of everything that I've seen that I'm like, I'm not a huge fan of the movie adaptation, but Meryl Streep is in it, and one of my friends was in it. And I thought their work was fantastic, and I know a lot of people that love that movie. So I have my favorites, but I love everything to a certain degree.
So nice and peaceful.
Do it?
And so like, you're not divisive. You're just like, no, it's cool. Just like what you like, folks.
Like what you like. I don't care. You don't have to agree with anybody's opinions, but
we're about
don't attack anybody for having an opinion.
We're under the 10-minute mark, folks. So if you have a question you're waiting, make sure you get your hands up in between. I'll see you come to you next, and then we'll get as many in as we can.
Okay, so of all the roles that you've played and haven't played, what's your favorite?
All the roles that I haven't?
Yeah, like haven't gotten the chance to, like you had auditioned for it, but you didn't get the call.
I've gone to auditions for some really, really cool stuff. I got to send in a tape for Hermione for Harry Potter. I'm not British. Spoiler alert. Don't care. And Emma Watson is so cool, and she was perfect for that role. But I always tell people, like, that's what I love about being an actor, is for those, like, 5 seconds when I got to go in and read for that role, like, for that, like, 15 minutes in that audition, I was Hermione, and that's really cool. It's the same reason that people love to cosplay. It's like, for that day, you're Iron Man, or you're Deadpool. Just make good choices when you're in those characters. Because you can still get arrested. You don't really have the protection of like a production film team being like, don't worry, they're not really attacking anybody. It's just a movie. Like, you gotta keep that in mind. But when I go to an audition, there's been TV shows that I've auditioned for. There's been like stuff that I've gotten so excited for. I was up for a movie with Robin Williams, who's legendary. I was gonna play his daughter. And I remember going in and I'm like, man, this is so stressful. I really want to get this job. I really want to get this job. And I have to constantly remind myself, like, the more stressed you are, the worse audition you're going to be. Just know when you walk in that door, you're his daughter for those 5 minutes. And even if that's the only 5 minutes you get to play this role, how cool is it that you get to be this role for 5 minutes? Because there are a million reasons why somebody could not give you the job. You're too short, you're too tall, your face doesn't match the person cast as your mom, or whatever the case may be. But when you're at the audition and you made it in, you got the job, you got the audition, you get to say those words, you get to say those lines, and you get to interact with those people. And so that's what I try to remind myself of. I think Harry Potter is probably the one that first comes to mind. There's been some really cool. Mom, is there anything that you remember I was like crushed over? like TV show wise or film wise? What? Yeah, but I didn't audition for that. I don't know, ponder on that one. Oh yeah, I auditioned for Madeline. I auditioned for anything that they're like, we're going to be shooting overseas in London or Japan or in New Zealand. I'm like, I want it. Or if it has to do with magic, or I would get to be a witch or something. I'm like, I want this job. And then oftentimes they're like, I don't really think that you could like really cause anybody any real damage. I'm like, oh, try me. But yeah.
This is a bit of a hypothetical question here.
Awesome.
Have you ever had a what-if scenario of characters meeting each other? Like, have you ever imagined Sailor Venus meeting one of your roles, Yoshika Miyafuji from Strike Witches?
Well, I'm imagining it now. That would be... I feel like Yoshika would be like, you could come hang out with us, and Sailor Venus would probably be like, I really like wearing skirts. I don't really do the no pants thing. I don't know. I guess sometimes when people are like, what would it be like if these two shows crossed over? Then you start to wonder like, well, where would everybody fit? Or what would these people be doing? I don't know, it's a really long dark rabbit hole to go down. I don't know. Yeah, it's fun to imagine that, but I don't know what I would do with all those thoughts.
First pineapple pizza, now this. Another.
I know.
Deep.
What am I gonna do? Go to Disney World is what I'm gonna do.
Or try.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not gonna make it.
You'll never make it.
Hi, I'm not sure if you already got this question, but what was it like to play Susanna on the cast of Steins Gate?
Oh, Steins Gate. I love that character so much. Colleen offered me that role and said, I think this is going to be one of your favorite shows to work on, and I think this is going to be one of your favorite characters of all time. And I was like, that's pretty bold there, Colleen. And immediately after I started working on her, she was like, I just feel like she's you. Like she's smart, she's weird. A lot more weird than smart, but I was like, I mean, like, yes, okay. I got to say like weird things like wasabi to like as a greeting for people. It's me if I didn't have to be concerned about having a filter for what was socially appropriate, and if I could time travel, which I don't know anybody that is not like excited about like what would it be like if I got to time travel. Yeah, I think she's really cool. She's one of my definite favorites. And someone was saying, yeah, I heard they might be getting a Netflix live action TV show. Would you want to play Susan? I'm like, yes, but I'm not really sure about the jumpsuit situation. She's got a lot of longer legs than I do. That would be like a weird capri high water situation. You might be like, can we give me pants or a skirt? I don't know. They'd probably say I was too short for that. But yeah, I love that show.
Cherami, you now have the honor, i.e. abject terror of choosing yourself the final question, because you're going right after this, right across the hall to sign, am I correct?
And then I can answer more questions.
Yes, just get up there and be like, my next question is this. But we want to give you a few seconds to gather yourself. We're going to this final question.
She's like slowly raising her
yeah.
yes.
Awesome, see? Since I did notice you, so that's great.
Okay, so this is an anime question. I'm sorry I didn't ask this question. If you can have any fairy tale guy character as Lucy, who would you pick? But make sure you don't pick Chris. I know Julius might be mad at you.
If I could have any what character?
Fairy tale guy character.
Oh, and so like who would I pair Lucy with?
Yes.
Well, I ship Nalu. So
settled the feud between.
Here's like I was totally on Team Nolly, Natsu and Lozana for the longest time, and then I realized like Natsu and Lasana don't really care about each other anymore. That was like a childhood thing. And I feel like that's what the creator wants, is for Natsu and Lucy to be a thing, but I really don't think they're in a place for a relationship with each other. But I feel like we're getting there. There's a lot of, I wasn't always on Team Nalu. Todd has been like, you should be on Team Nalu. And then the more I saw it, I was like, okay, all right. You're a little immature, but you're growing on me. Okay. So yeah, I think that's where I stand. I would put her with Natsu. A lot of people are like, she should be with Gray. I'm like, no. I don't understand that. Like, Gray's cool and all, but like, no. I thought maybe Leo for a little bit, but like, that's weird. I couldn't do it. So I think Natsu's the best. I even had someone say like, I think she belongs with Happy. I'm like, can I talk to you for a second? What about Carla and Happy? And they're like, they're siblings. At what point does it state that? So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Team Nalu. I hope nobody's like heartbroken over that. And if so, you can have your own opinion.
It's your job as a celebrity to crush our beliefs about you. Like, no, I'm not really that way.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
You'll never make it. That's how we started this panel.
Cherami, thank you for spending an hour with us.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you for tolerating my ramblings and weird trains of thought. It's always.
And tomorrow, the whole gang will be on stage, tomorrow and Sunday. So if you want to see more rambling, not just, two of the scouts, all five.
I'm actually very terrified for all of us to be on stage together. The only other time that's happened, we've had a moderator that has gone, okay, and like reined us in. We have no one reining us in anything.
I'm just going to stand back and watch. I'm not going to stop you.
So